Maxx Crosby bleeds silver and black. Maxx Crosby has a commitment to excellence. My question is, are you dedicated to the Raiders? If that answer is yes, subscribe to the #1 most watched Raiders YouTube channel in the world. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, Maxx Crosby is going to do something no other Raider player has ever done this upcoming season. You're asking, Mitch, what the heck is number 98 going to do? Maxx Crosby is going to have 17 or more sacks this season. That would break the single-season record for most sacks by a Las Vegas Raider. And some of y'all are probably like, all right, Mitch, well, the Raiders have had a long list of history of some solid edge rushers out there. As it stands right now, the most sacks in a single season is owned by Derrick Burgess, which happened back in 2005 with 16. There's Sean Jones, Khalil Mack, Howie Long, Anthony Smith, and Pat Swirling. Maybe you've heard of a few of these players. So guess what? Crosby, he's having at least 17 sacks this season. It's why I'm repping my Fresno jersey. Shout out to one of the legends out there. Well, how about this? Who are the real ones that know 17 jersey? I want to see the real ones that know the 17 Fresno jersey. I'm going to be looking down in the comments. But seriously, if you think that Crosby is going to break the Raiders' single-season sack record in 2023, I want you to hit that like button. I want this video to get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 likes. I want the nation to show that we got number 98's back. So coming up here on the Raiders Report, I got 5 reasons why I am unbelievably confident that Crosby ends up breaking this record and has at least 17 sacks this upcoming season. The first reason is Max is on a mission. Like, I hope to be a father one day. And whether I have a young boy, whether I have a young girl, I am going to show them what Maxx Crosby did in order to get to where he is. Because when Jeremy Chuggs and I met with his father back in April, even his dad said, like, honestly, I never thought in a million years my son would be in the NFL, let alone one of the best players. But he looked at us dead in the eyes. He's like, the reason why he's as good as what he is because he puts in the work. Everybody's touting in the NFL. But what do you do that makes yourself different? Max's biggest competitive advantage is dude is always on a mission. I mean, this is what he had to say this offseason. It's funny. People talk about you need to balance in life. I truly just don't believe in that. That's just not where I am at in life right now. My daughter and football, that's my life. And obviously my wife and my family, that's huge. But I'm on a mission. I've got one goal. I want to be the best at what I do. So everybody in my circle, which is a very small circle, they know what my mission is. And they understand what I go through. I'm gone at 5 a.m. I get back at 7 p.m. So it's nonstop. But that's what it takes to be great. And that's what I'm doing every single day. So there is no real balance. Crosby also had this to say on trying to be the best. It's looking for that 1% improvement. I'm looking for every single day. How can I get better at my routine? How can I get better with my nutrition? How can I get better in my pass rush, my counter, stopping the run? I don't leave a box unchecked. I am constantly seeking to get better every single day, and I'm going to keep pushing until I am the undisputed. Well, guess what? When you hear a player talk like that, there is a lot of confidence in that man right there. There's also a lot of confidence in me sitting up here saying that, yeah, I do. I think he's going to be the very first Raiders player to ever get 17 sacks. And I can literally remember my first interaction with Max. He DM'd me after Raiders was on HBO Hard Knocks. And I said, Crosby, anytime you want to come on the show, giggity, hit me up in the DMs because dude broke his hand as a rookie. And it was like, there is nothing that you were possibly going to do to keep me off this field. It started as a rookie. It goes all the way back to Eastern Michigan, goes all the way back to high school, and now you're just seeing it. Not many guys, when they get paid the amount of money that he did, still put in the work. This dude is just a different breed, and I'm glad he's wearing silver and black. So my question to you is this. How many sacks for Maxx Crosby this upcoming season? He's had a very impressive career. He had 12 and a half last season. I'm saying at least 17. I want to know from every single one of y'all your prediction for number 98. Let's go to the next reason here why I believe Crosby is going to break the single-season sack record for the Silver and Black. Crosby has improved every year. And I'll be 100% real with y'all. I was a little bit curious to see how Maxx would do after year one. He was a fourth-round rookie. Not a lot of people knew about him. And the numbers he put up as a rookie, 47 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. People who are rookies and have 10 sacks and 4 forced fumbles, it is a very prestigious list. He follows that season up with 39, 7 tackles, 15 tackles for loss. In 2021, another very solid year at 55, 13, and 8. And then what he did last year, it's really upsetting that the Raiders went 6-11 because not nearly enough people appreciate how incredible of a season Crosby had with 88 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 12 and a half sacks, 3 forced fumbles. For a defensive end to put up all of those type of numbers and to have the impact that he does in the running game, it's incredible to me. And I see all these lists out there of the top edge rushers in the NFL. I am blown away by the amount of people that don't have Crosby in their top 10. If you don't have Crosby in your top 5 right now of defensive ends in the NFL, it's a shit list. I get sacks are very important. But you know what? When you consider the fact of the last 2 seasons, the defensive players that Crosby has had to play with, on top of the fact that Patrick Graham doesn't blitz, Gus Bradley, they were ranked dead last in blitz rate. But guess what? Crosby's still leading the NFL, and it's not even close in pressure since 2021. He's making an impact more than any other defensive end in football right now. We need to start taking notice to that. If you don't, you probably eat corn the long way. Let's go to the next reason here why I believe Maxx Crosby ends up breaking the record. The Silver and Black added help. If there is one thing I can rely on, it's that Crosby's going to give 110% every snap. And when he's out there on the field, that is really concerning for the quarterback. It's really concerning for the offensive coordinator. But you know what? The Raiders last offseason, they tried to go out and get Chandler Jones. I'm hoping that Chandler has a better year. In fact, I can't imagine he has much of a worse season than he did this past year. You also went out and added Tyree Wilson. Maxx Crosby, Chandler Jones, Tyree Wilson. If Wilson is healthy, will be on the field together at least 70% of the time. That's how they are going to use these young men right here. And that's a solid group. Then on top of that, this defensive tackle room is going to be better. I have more confidence in Bilal Nichols. I got more confidence in Neil Farrell Jr., Byron Young. It might not be a star-studded group, but there was a lot of depth at the defensive tackle position. And then, y'all know how highly I speak of Carmen Bracillo, and he has done wonders on the Raiders' offensive line. But Rob Leonard is another very highly regarded defensive line coach who, again, really doesn't get enough credit. And I do think one thing that you're going to see, his work with defensive tackles is very impressive. If his work with defensive tackles can help Crosby get more just one-on-ones, I'm telling y'all right now, 17 might be too low of a number. I got 2 more reasons coming up here on the Raiders report of why Crosby's going to break the record. But remember, I have these awesome corn shirts, and if you hate the Chargers, if you hate the Broncos, and if you hate the Chiefs, well, let's go rep some tees this upcoming season. Get your hands on Chiefs fans, Broncos fans, Chargers fans, eat corn the long way shirts. If you know a Chiefs fan, a Broncos fan, a Charger fan, all 3 of them, give it to them as a gift. It's a hell of a prank. I mean, I love these type of shirts. I can't wait to be wrapping them some on the Raiders Report. And if you want to get your hands on these corn shirts, it's chatsports.com/corn. Don't worry. I made Chugs put the links in the comments and in the description of today's show. Let's go to the next reason here of why number 98 is going to have more than 17 sacks. Crosby never comes off the field. I mean, this is another reason why the national media doesn't appreciate what Crosby does. It's insane for a defensive end to play the amount of snaps that he played last season. 96% of the defensive snaps by the Raiders, 1,085. And then guess what? He also plays on special teams too. When you have a defensive end getting paid that much money who has a total of over 1,100 snaps, it's sickening. I mean, in terms of comparison, Micah Parsons, 919. Myles Garrett, 817 snaps last season. Nick Bosa, 746. Do these players get more sacks? Sure. A lot more talent on the defense, a lot more talent on the defense, a lot more talent on the defense. But you know what also Maxx does? He also helps more against the run. So if I can get a player that, okay, they might not get as many sacks as these three players, but they're making a bigger impact against the running game, isn't that more valuable overall to your entire defensive end? Maxx Crosby is the best defensive end in football, and I hope by the end of this video you agree with that. The final reason is he wants to be legendary. And this kind of goes in with a mission, but I can honestly say that I don't know if I've seen a more mentally strong player than Maxx Crosby is right now. I mean, dude's just always locked in. And he did just get this brand new tattoo, and I do think it's a pretty dope tattoo, but it says be legendary. And that's what Maxx wants to do. He wants to be legendary. He wants to be the greatest, not only now, he wants to be remembered, right? So he's got a Muhammad Ali, he's got Kobe Bryant, he's got Michael Jordan, all players that not only were they legendary in their sports, but they were legendary in the mindset of what it took to be great. And that's why Maxx Crosby is going to be legendary, and he's going to have himself a legendary season. So be the judge. You just saw the tattoo. You got to grade it. A, B, C, D, or F. I know some people out there like tattoos. I know other people don't. But your God-honest opinion, if that's what he has to look at every day, and he wants to be legendary like those three players, I'll tell you this right now. If at the end of his career, if he's mentioned in the same breath as those three, I don't care what he gets tattooed on his body. Let's keep rolling here, though, why he wants to be legendary is some of the other things that legendary players do. They don't only make themselves better. They make their team better. They make their teammates better. And I know this right now. I've talked to a few Raiders UDFAs. I've talked to a few younger players, and Maxx Crosby is the role model. They want to replicate what Maxx does, and if he's going in there at 5 a.m. and leaving at 7 p.m., that's what is going to be contagious, and that's how you build a winning franchise. This is what Crosby had to say this offseason. I do everything I can to put myself in the best position to help this team, be the best leader I can be, and be the best player down to down in the National Football League. I try to show my teammates what that looks like every single day. Even when the rookies come in, I told them, just follow me every single day. If you want to continue building your career, follow me. I'm going to do it the right way. And he has done it the right way. He has done everything that this Raiders organization has asked. When you think about all of the chaos that has happened since his rookie season, if there is one player that has kept his nose clean, it's been number 98. He has led on the field, he has led off the field, and he is going to be the new single-season sack leader for the Las Vegas Raiders after this season.